and I wasn't
Oh yeah.
aware of it. So, are there a band or bands that you think our fans need to hear about?
Yeah, I mean, we've got we don't really have much of a melodic metal scene around here, but we have a lot of good black metal and more atmospheric type stuff. Uh, like Australis is a great tech death band from here. Pestiferi or Astral Blood are good black metal bands, and great songwriting. Great atmosphere. As far as stuff abroad, I've been telling people for years to listen to Suncaged from the Netherlands.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sadly they're not around now, but yeah, like those three albums, mostly the first one and the last one, especially those were just some of my favorites.
Excellent, excellent. And as far as is there anybody that you've had the pleasure to see in concert here lately? Maybe an opening act for a major act that you were really blown away live that you'd not heard of before?
Yeah, no, I mean, King Diamond came here recently. That was my first time seeing him, and that was awesome.
Cool.
The whole
I've
Abigail.
never seen King Diamond. I would love to see it.
Yeah, it was just tons of great stuff. Highlights from a lot of his best albums, but especially the whole Abigail.
Sweet, sweet. Jason, go ahead.
Well, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. And, obviously getting a chance to not only hear your music, but talk a little bit more about Past Exile and what you have coming up on in the works. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people listening to the program want to know a little bit more about the band and how to kind of keep up with you on social media, on Facebook, or any of those things that you have. Would you mind sharing with us and the rest of the listeners the best way to kind of keep tabs on Matt and the rest of the band?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you can find us just, facebook.com/chaosframe or search Chaos Frame. It'll come up. If we have something relevant to post, we will, and we do often respond to messages. As far as the new stuff, look for it within a year or two. It's going to be, similarly eclectic, maybe more keyboards, more atmospheric build-up, but, it'll still have the signature.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. If it's anything like Past Exile, which I think was an incredibly well done album, then I think this is going to, only be a little bit more progression, a little bit more of a maybe a mature sound based on some of the things you mentioned in 2010 that may or may not be relevant as much as how the band is and where your guys are going from a direction standpoint. But looking forward to it.
We're not consciously trying to do any of it. It's our tastes and it comes through naturally. So. If it comes out agreeable to other people, then we're happy,
Perfect. No, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I mean, it's just even year to year, month to month, man. I'm going to tell you, there are some bands that I've listened to or some music that I've listened to. I'm going, I don't like it. And then 6 months later, I'm going, what the hell's wrong with me? This is great. And I can only assume as a musician, no, I'm not one, that kind of goes through your head too, of like a certain type of style of music that you're like, I'm not really big into this maybe genre of metal, that all of a sudden you see yourself writing music and going, holy crap, I'm basically writing a song that sounds just like this. You know what I mean? I'm that has to go through your head at times, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it happens. I go through, long stretches of like only listening to a certain type of thing or whatever, and it just shifts back and forth.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to hear it, and obviously we'd love to have you back on the show when Chaos Frame has another album in the works ready to roll, probably, of course, on our friends Nightmare Records, and we'll talk to Lance and hopefully try to find out some more details as well. But again, Matt Hodsdon from Chaos Frame, thank you so much for joining us here on According to Metal, and don't be a stranger, my friend. Thanks for being part of the program.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Hello, folks. This is Darren.
That sound is ice in a glass with nothing but ice in it, meaning I'm out of booze, meaning we're out of time to do the rest of the According to Metal podcast. That's how it is. When I'm out of stuff to drink, we end the show. That's just the rules. Sorry, I didn't write them. Actually, I did. Well, Biv did too. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. We covered a lot on this episode. We had 5 good reviews, really of some bands that we've been wanting to hear their stuff for years. Of course, we covered Metallica's latest one, like a lot of other podcasts do, but I'm sure we did it better, right? Don't you think, Bev? I'm sure we did it better than anybody else. Also, we have Theocracy's most recent one, 6 AM. We also had Pretty Maids, and, of course, we did In Flames a new album, and what did you think on that? We had our thoughts. And speaking of your thoughts, because we want to hear them on our Facebook page. We're going to share a lot of these reviews on the Facebook page, so give us your thoughts and opinions on what you think of the albums we've just reviewed. A lot of these are very, very popular albums that many people have listened to themselves, including you, and you know you have opinions too, because you're metalheads just like we are. So what is your feedback? And if for some stupid reason you're listening to this show and you haven't liked us on Facebook, you should do that. Just simply go to Facebook, type in According to Metal, click like. You'll be part of the community, part of our friends, and we'd love to chat with you on there. We've been kind of lazy in sharing stuff content-wise, Biv, so we got to do a better job of that. Just that's my 2 cents. I have to own that. I know Biv does as well. We will do a better job at that if you like the page. So we're holding you ransom to do so. And speaking of liking the show, we've gotten some really good feedback from a lot of great people who listen to us, and thank you so much for it. It does help motivate us to continue to do what we do. Out of this is a labor of love. We make $0.00 to do it, but we do it because we love you and we love metal. So,
and we make 0 cents sometimes.
Well, we make 0 cents all the time, but we make $0 and 0 cents. In regards to, we should use that somehow in some way. Well done. But, whether you're listening to us on Spreaker or Stitcher or SoundCloud or Google Play or even on iTunes, especially iTunes, if you listen to us that way and you subscribe to the podcast that way, first of all, if you're listening to the show as, some link you found on the, on Facebook or whatever, click subscribe. This way you get every single installment of the According to Metal podcast. You'll never miss a beat. But if you subscribe to us already or listen to us through iTunes, go ahead and leave a review. We'd greatly appreciate that. I know it definitely helps grow the audience and gives more people an idea of what our show's really all about. And speaking about what our show is about, we had 5 really cool reviews. We also talked the latest news. As we always do, we learned that Beasto Blanco was Biv's best band you've never heard of. And we were also, of course, joined by Matt Hodsdon from Chaos Frame to learn more of what's going on with them. We learned that he's a big fan of Wu-Tang, actually. Well, it's his guilty pleasure. But, hey, Biv has Dido as his guilty pleasure. He admitted that last week. And so we got to learn from Matt what's going on with them. He's also a Shaq Fu fan, so am I. We go back way back in our Sega Genesis days. We learned a lot today. I mean, we also learned that Biv is 75 years old and uses a day planner. All types of great information we learned on the According to Metal podcast. And there's more to learn. There's more to listen to on our next episode, closing out the end of the year with we're doing some reviews. In fact, we didn't get a chance to do Testament, which really bothers me because I'm just going to cat out of the bag, open the bag. Freaking awesome album. We'll talk more about that next episode with a couple other reviews up our sleeves. And we're going to kind of have an end of the year quasi awards, album of the year, disappointment of the year. We're still working on the format, but we're going to do that. But I'm all out of eggnog. I know Biv's probably almost out of Diet Dr. Pepper. And so that means we have to end the show, just what the rules are. But we will be back faster than you could say furious with another exciting episode of the According to Metal podcast to close out the year. Certainly, we will make sure that we are here to make sure that we wish you a very metal Christmas and a very heavy new year. But until then, and until we talk to you next time, stay heavy and stay metal!
You can follow According to Metal on Twitter @ATMetalPod. And stay in touch with the guys by liking the According to Metal Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/According to Metal and click like.